In the very middle of the very bottom of the world, where the snow sparkled like a million tiny diamonds, lived a group of penguin chicks. They were the best of friends. There was Pip, who was small but had the biggest heart. There was Percy, who was a bit clumsy and always tripping over his own happy feet. Then there was Patsy, who loved to sing, even if her songs were mostly loud squawks. And finally, there was Poppy, who was the fastest slider in the entire Icy Kingdom. Together they were known as the Waddle and Squeak Gang, and their days were filled with fun and frosty adventures. They loved playing games more than anything. Their favourite game was hide and seek among the giant shimmering ice caves. Pip was the best hider because he could squeeze into the tiniest cracks. Percy was the funniest seeker because he would often waddle right past a hiding spot, lost in a happy daydream. Patsy would sing a little song to give clues, a cheerful squawk squawk you're getting warmer. Poppy's game was sliding, and she would challenge everyone to races down the smoothest, steepest slopes, leaving a trail of fluffy snow behind her like a superhero's cape. Their laughter echoed across the frozen plains, a happy sound in the quiet, white world. One morning the air was extra crisp and the sky was a brilliant, cloudless blue. The Waddle and Squeak Gang decided to build the most magnificent snow fort ever seen. They rolled big snowballs and stacked them high. Percy, in his usual clumsy way, rolled a snowball that was a bit too wobbly and it tumbled down, making a funny, lopsided wall. Patsy decorated the top with shiny icicles she found, humming a happy building tune as she worked. Pip was in charge of carving out the secret entrance, a tiny tunnel just big enough for a small penguin to wiggle through. It was going to be their best creation yet. Everything was perfect. The sun made the snow fort walls glitter. The friends worked together, their little black and white bodies bustling with excitement and purpose. Poppy had found a smooth, flat piece of ice to be their front door, and she slid it perfectly into place. They imagined all the fun they would have inside their new frosty castle. They would tell stories and share the tasty fish their parents brought them. It was a fort built not just of snow, but of friendship. And in that moment, they were the happiest penguin chicks in the whole wide, cold world, waddling and squeaking with pure joy. The trouble began with a single perfect snowflake. It wasn't just any snowflake, it was huge and had the most beautiful intricate patterns like a star made of lace. It drifted down from the sky and landed right on the very top of their new snow fort. "It's the fort's crown!" squawked Patsy with delight. "I saw it first!" chirped Pip, puffing out his chest. "But I want to look at it up close!" declared Poppy, already starting to climb the wall. Percy just stared at it, his eyes wide with wonder, and he wanted it too, though he wasn't quite sure why. The perfect snowflake had suddenly become a perfect problem. The playful mood began to melt away faster than an icicle in the sun. "It should be mine! I'm the fastest, so I can protect it best," Poppy announced, trying to scramble up the slippery wall. "No! It's a decoration, and I'm the decorator," Patsy argued, flapping her little wings. "It's a treasure, and I'm the best at finding things," Pip squeaked, trying to find a foothold. Percy, caught in the middle, just waddled back and forth, saying, But it's so pretty. We can all look at it." But his friends were no longer listening to his quiet voice. They were too busy squabbling. The argument grew louder and louder. Squeaks turned into squawks, and squawks turned into grumpy shouts. Poppy accidentally knocked a snowball off the wall and it landed right on Pip's head with a soft poof. Pip, thinking she did it on purpose, threw a clump of snow back, but he missed and hit Patsy instead. Soon, it wasn't about the snowflake anymore. It was a full-blown snowball fight. Snow flew everywhere, and their beautiful, perfect fort started to get messy and dented. The happy sounds of friendship were replaced by a chaotic chorus of angry chirps and frustrated flapping. The beautiful fort was now a battlefield. Percy tried to stop them, waving his flippers and shouting, "Stop everyone, please stop!" But no one heard him over the commotion. Their once happy playground was filled with shouts of, "That's my spot," and "You knocked it over!" The lovely snowflake, the cause of all the trouble, was forgotten, lost somewhere in the flurry of flying snow. The friends were no longer a gang. They were just four very cross, very snowy little penguins who had forgotten how to play together. The fun had completely fizzled out, leaving only cold, grumpy silence in its place. Just as the chaos was at its peak, a calm and quiet presence made its way towards them. It was Chief Elderwin, the oldest and wisest penguin in the entire colony. He didn't waddle quickly. He moved with a slow, deliberate grace that made everyone stop and watch. His feathers were a distinguished grey at the edges, and his eyes held a kind, knowing twinkle, as if he had seen 1,000 winters and learned a secret from each one. He didn't need to shout or squawk to be heard. His silence was more powerful than their noise. As he approached, the snowball throwing stopped, and the chicks looked down at their feet, suddenly feeling a little bit silly. Chief Elderwin surveyed the scene. He saw the dented fort, the scattered snow, and the four little penguins looking very sorry for themselves. He didn't look angry. He didn't look disappointed. He simply looked. He walked over to the messy fort and gently brushed a loose pile of snow from one of the walls. He looked at Pip, then at Poppy, then at Patsy, and finally at Percy. He let the quiet stretch on for a moment, letting the chilly air carry away the last of their grumpy feelings. Then, in a voice as soft and deep as the ocean beneath the ice, he spoke. "A fine fort," he said. "It looks like it was built for fun." The chicks shuffled their feet. "It was," mumbled Pip. "But then we started to fight," admitted Patsy in a small voice. Chief Elderwin nodded slowly, as if this was the most normal thing in the world. "Ah, yes, fights," he said, his eyes twinkling again. "They are much like snowstorms. They start with a single, tiny flake of disagreement, but soon they can become a blizzard that blocks out the sun and makes everyone feel cold and lost." He looked around at their grumpy faces. "And it seems a blizzard has just passed through here, has it not?" The chicks all nodded, their beaks drooping low. The chief didn't scold them. He didn't tell them who was right or who was wrong. Instead, he waddled over to the spot where Poppy and Pip had been arguing. He picked up a small, loose piece of ice. "This fort is strong," he began, holding up the ice for them all to see. "It is strong because you did not build it with one giant block of ice. You built it with many small snowballs, each one helping the others stand tall. Each one is different, but they all work together." He looked at the four of them, a gentle smile on his beak. "You are just like these snowballs, stronger together." Chief Elderwin then showed them what he meant. "Pip," he said kindly, "you are small and can fix the little cracks at the bottom." Pip immediately waddled over and started patching the base of the fort. "Patsy," the chief continued, "your icicles are beautiful. Perhaps they would look even better lining the pathway to the door." Patsy's face lit up and she began gathering shiny icicles again, this time to decorate the ground. "Poppy, your speed is a great gift. Can you slide over to that snowdrift and bring back smooth snow to patch the big holes?" Poppy nodded eagerly and zipped off, happy to have a helpful job. "And Percy," said the chief, turning to the clumsy chick who had tried to be a peacemaker, "you have the important job of being the inspector. Waddle around and make sure every part of the wall is strong and steady." Percy puffed out his chest with pride. He took his new job very seriously, carefully patting the walls and giving a happy squawk of approval whenever he found a spot his friends had fixed. They were no longer four penguins working against each other. They were a team again, each with a special task. The angry shouts were replaced by happy chirps of cooperation. As they worked, something amazing happened. While patching a hole, Pip found the beautiful giant snowflake unharmed. He picked it up carefully. A moment ago he would have claimed it for himself. But now he looked at his friends. He waddled over to the chief. "Chief Elderwin," he said, "we want this to be for everyone." The wise old penguin smiled. "Then find a place for it where everyone can see it," he suggested. Together, the four chicks decided to place the snowflake right above the entrance, a sparkling star to welcome all who entered. It wasn't Pip's or Poppy's or Patsy's crown, it was their crown. With the fort repaired and looking even better than before, the Waddle and Squeak gang slid down their favourite hill, but this time they did it together, forming a long, giggling penguin train. They learned a valuable lesson that day thanks to the chief's wisdom. They learned that fighting was cold and lonely, like a blizzard, but working together was warm and bright, like the sun on the snow. Their friendship was the strongest fort of all, and they promised to always build it together, one kind act, one shared laugh, and one happy squawk at a time.